From superheroes to spell books, from movie screens to collector shelf, this is Collecting Beyond the 123, the podcast where collectibles and pop culture collide. I'm your host, Moon3PO, and this is my sidekick, Bropio, coming through with episode 2 of Collecting Beyond the 123. But before we dive into it, Bropio, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about a good old double podcast recording week, huh? I think we finally figured out a little schedule here, but yeah, other than that, man, things are peachy.
Double pod week. So if you guys again are not familiar of what we do here, so we have a wrestling podcast that's called Collecting the 123, and of course last week or 2 weeks ago at this point was our extension of the podcast Collecting Beyond the 123, where we talk all things pop culture, movies, non-sports trading cards. So that's going to be TCGs, Disney, Marvel, which ironically enough, I felt like that with this week being the national, or this past weekend being the national, we saw a lot of people talking about non-sports trading cards. And I think from what I've heard just from watching and absorbing as much other content as possible, that this year was a growth in the non-sport trading card space. So that is very exciting. Of course, if you guys know us, we like collecting non-sports trading cards. I'm getting into collecting more and even vending a little bit more. Had some on my last previous card show that we were posted up as a trading card vendor. Been exploring in Magic as well. Marvel, Topps Chrome specifically is what we've been focusing in on. Obviously, you as well have been honing in a little bit on the Star Wars and a little bit more than me. So that's where you're going to take the full ball and run it. But yeah, this episode here is going to be dedicated here. We obviously have a couple of non-sports trading card releases. We're going to talk about that here. And obviously, this episode is going to be highly, highly dedicated to Spider-Man Brand New Day. We're going to talk about the film. We're going to talk about the movie, what we liked, what we didn't maybe like. It's very slim pickings on that because I think this is one of the best Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, and maybe potentially live action Spider-Man movies. And we're also going to do our live ranking of the live action Spider-Man film. That's going to be interesting because I know if you guys listen to the wrestling podcast, you guys know that we're very similar.
We're gonna have to go all Spider-Man movies, not just live action. All.
I can't. It's tough for me to mix in the animated and the live action together.
Just got to.
I feel like live action is fine. If you want to throw in your animated Across the Spider-Verse and Into the Across the Spider-Verse, feel free to. But for me, it's tough. I don't know what it is. Like, it's tough. I feel like I have an idea of how I would rank them if throwing into an Across the Spider-Verse. But I think I always find it difficult of like integrating like animated movies into this in the case here. But if we want to go that route, we can also do that too. So we might have two separate rankings here: live action and all Spider-Man films. So we are going to do our rankings on that, which I was going to follow up here, which is going to be interesting because I know if you listen to the Wrestling Card podcast, we're very similar. We have very similar mindsets, but I'm curious because we really don't talk. Like, granted, we do, but we really don't talk like ranking movies and like what we like and didn't like. So I think that's this extension of the podcast is going to be very, very interesting, and that's why I was so excited to launch it. But that is enough talking. Spider-Man Brand New Day. Before we go into the review, we wanted to go into the current numbers of where Spider-Man Brand New Day is sitting at right now, because this movie is breaking a lot of records, and I think it's going to continue breaking records, because just considering that his movie hasn't came out in IMAX yet. It officially hits IMAX on Friday, and that was done because the Odyssey is still having showings of IMAX, which I heard that's going to still go to September, which that was a July release, and Odyssey is still going to be ran in IMAX and 70mm IMAX all the way until September. So that's absolutely insane. But
good.
Just quick little numbers here regarding Spider-Man Brand New Day. It has already crossed $1 billion worldwide in just 6 days. So that's absolutely insane. It did so, hitting the milestone just 1 day after Avengers Endgame, which did it in 5 days. Let's take a look at it here. It holds the record for the highest grossing domestic opening weekend at 360 million, which that did beat Endgame's. That was 357 million. And the all-time domestic preview record, which is the Thursday previews, that was 74.5, which that tops Endgame's 60 million preview. It is also the fastest film to surpass 400 million domestically in 4 days. Delivered the highest grossing Monday history with 46 million, beating Black Panther. This is all courtesy of Forbes. And again, that's all without IMAX. So I'm really curious. I do have my showing here scheduled for IMAX on Friday, so I'm very, very excited. I think this film was shot perfectly and beautifully. So to see it in an IMAX screen, it's going to be, and no pun intended, amazing. But now let's talk about the movie here. Now, if you guys don't follow us on Letterboxd, highly recommend that you do. Links are down wherever you get your podcasts, if it's on the YouTube description or the Apple, Spotify predictions, because once the movie ends, I'm heading straight to Letterboxd and giving my ranking. That's just the way my brain works now. But I'll throw it over to you, Bro Prio, because I don't want to say you had a high, you did have a higher rating than me. You did, and we'll talk about all that here. But where did you throw in Spider-Man Brand New Day, your rating here on Letterboxd?
Yeah, I gave it a 5-star. Yeah, it was just one of those movies where, like, even going back to like the Odyssey, like it didn't feel as long as it did. Like that's just how entertaining it was for me. I don't know if you want to like just deep break into it, but I think it was like one of the more like perfectly made like comic book like film.
Agree.
Like all the shots that they did, like especially I love the beginning. Which first off, the beginning, spoiler alert here incoming if you haven't seen it yet.
Oh yeah, spoiler alert. Yes, if you have not seen Spider-Man Brand New Day, spoiler alert. Go watch the movie. Go watch it in IMAX. And then come back to the podcast. But yes, spoiler alert warning. This is going to be full of spoilers.
Been warned. First off, I really love that time jump that they did to kind of progress. Like,
yes.
I was so curious about how they were going to do that because that was one of my big questions going to the movie. I was like, how are they just going to do like all through college? But no, like they literally, you see him do like a 4 or 5 year time jump. So like, through those 4 or 5 years, like he's legit alone, like, and he's literally living his life as Spider-Man and just as Spider-Man, because Peter Parker doesn't exist anymore. Nobody knows who he is, and like he's literally living his college life through his friends, through Ned and MJ. So, yeah, I loved the time jump. I loved like the comic book replica scenes that they did, where from the
beautifully,
from Amazing Fantasy 15. They had the covers from like the Boomerang cover, the one with Scorpion. I just loved it. I loved all that. And I think it was also like one of going back to like him being alone. Like I think this is the first Spider-Man movie we've gotten where they literally portray his story like alone. Like he literally has no one. It's just him living in this, I think it's like a loft kind of esque apartment and stuff like that. So it was really cool to kind of get that perspective from that end, because I think the other movies, he always has at least somebody, whether it be like Harry or MJ, or Gwen in the other movies, and you were talking the Garfield Spider-Mans, down when he still had Aunt May and stuff like that. So like this was the first true movie where it's literally just him. So I liked that about it, and it was just, I think that's what made it feel a little bit more like on the emotional side of it, where you literally feel for him because it's just him. You see how badly he's getting beaten up. He obviously having a bunch of stuff happening to him. He's literally turning into a damn spider. But yeah, I mean, so for those reasons, I just had to give it a 5-star, and it never felt like it was 2.5 hours long. Like it literally didn't. So I literally have no gripes about it. I think the only gripe I could probably say is I wish they would tell us where Jean was going. Which, spoiler alert, again, Jean Grey's in this movie. I think that would be the only thing, is like I wish they would have shown us like where exactly she's headed. They showed us like she was on a bus, but it would have been pretty cool to like see her headed. I don't know, maybe we really don't know what they're doing with the X-Men obviously in this movie, or in this world, I should say, universe. I'm pretty sure we'll get a little bit more of that hopefully in Doomsday, I would assume, because there really is kind of, I guess, nowhere for her to go right now. I'm assuming once they establish who's going to be Charles Xavier, maybe when they get the skull going,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Who's going to be Magneto? So yeah, but that'd be the only thing. But other than that, not enough to tank my rating. So I gave it a 5-star across the board.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you on everything there, and to echo a lot of the same things you said. I gave it a 4.5 stars, so close, half a star off, close to your 5-star rating. Obviously, we'll dive into my rating here. But yeah, some things that as someone who's growing to love movies more and more, and just watching random things and like traditional like big movies, I love the way this movie was shot. Like, those are things now that I know it's cliche that we're talking about films and stuff like that. Like, I know it's cliche, but like, that's things that I'm finding myself like focusing on, like the coloring, like how they shot it.
Oh, dude, that
like
speaking of
the New York
shots and
aspect.
scenes, the shot when he's fighting the hand, when he's doing the web spin and just spinning, and the web is just, like, constantly shooting out. Oh man, that marked out.
Yeah, like the way they shot this movie, like, and I think that's what a knock is on a lot of the other Tom Holland movies, is that it is very much CGI. Like No Way Home 2021, like they filmed that a lot during COVID, which, you know, has a lot of implications on that, which is why if you go back and rewatch it, which we did on Wednesday before we went to go see the Thursday preview, there are some things that look a little wonky, and it's because of that. But like using, again, like kind of we talked about the Odyssey, like practical effects, and we kind of saw a lot of that leading up to the release. Like we were seeing clips of him, like, you know, in the suit, you know, in the jumper cables, like on top of buses. Like he had like real cool moments with like real people and like real fans of the movie and him. And I think that was really cool that they did, like, they tried not doing as much practical, you know, CGI sets. So that was really cool, because that's the one thing I loved about it. One, the color grading, how they filmed it, just embracing New York, because I feel like that's what we were missing in the Tom Holland movies. Obviously, there's that end scene as well where New York is starting to embrace him, like him just being the New Yorker, the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Like, that's something we got it a little bit in Homecoming, but it then, you know, went away. But just to see him fully be embraced by New York, and like kind of showing like that's the reason why he made the sacrifice and why he continues to be Spider-Man, and you know everybody forgetting, you know, Peter Parker. So that I absolutely love. So yes, the way that they filmed this movie, again, something that as someone who is enjoying and watching more movies and films is something that I am just noticing a little bit more as I'm sitting in my AMC, even though I did some movie I did not see in AMC. I saw on my Cinemark membership. But just some things that I'm pointing out. So again, just seeing more of the city, the color grading, those are things that I just like love and enjoyed with this movie. And the web slinging, I think some of the best web slinging that we've seen since TASM 2. I've always said I think the Andrew Garfield movies have had some of the best, you know, showing of the web slinging. So I think that was something that kind of rivals that, because the one shot that sticks out in my head is when he's jumping off the building and like he's inside the mask and the camera cuts into him. He kind of closes his eyes and you just hear him breathing. It's stuff like that that I just like absolutely loved about this movie. And just like small little details, like I know obviously his past suits have been CGI, you know, the whole, you know, Tony Stark Jr., but like just seeing like the wind going through the suit, like the wrinkles of the suit, like those are just like small little things that I picked up, and I'm sure other people have picked up, that I thoroughly enjoyed. The combat, I know you mentioned the web slinging, we did that. Reminding me a lot of the Insomniac games, which I, going back and listening to some interviews, like they said they took a lot of inspiration from that. So just, you know, and I'm a big fan of those games, both Spider-Man's 1 and 2, and then the Miles Morales version of it. So yeah, that, just seeing that again going to on the big screen, it was just absolutely phenomenal, amazing, no pun intended. So those are just things that I thoroughly enjoyed with the movie itself. And the reason why I gave it a 4.5 and not the 5, and this is, I think I want to say a big criticism of the movie, but it's just, again, a thing that I would have loved to have seen a traditional Spider-Man villain. Like, I know we have Scorpion and we have Tombstone, but they're not the main, you know, antagonist of the movie itself. Like, we don't have a true Spider-Man villain. Like, yes, it's Jean Grey to an extent, but even with then,
damage control.
Yeah, like even with then, like it's not a true like Spider-Man villain. Even if Jean Grey was gonna be your villain, like again, it's still not a true Spider-Man villain. Out of all the rogue members that we have. Like, I understand, you're not going the Green Goblin route. You're not going the Sandman route. Maybe you could have done Sandman. Maybe Scorpion is a full movie. I know you've done Vulture, which I think has arguably been his best villain. I don't count Norman Osborn's Green Goblin and No Way Home as his villain, just because, again, that's Toby's.
True.
So I think Vulture has been arguably his best villain. That scene where he cuts in when he's taking the daughter to homecoming, like that's like that scene just gives me goosebumps. And when they're in the car, like sometimes when I'm bored, I'll go to YouTube and just watch that clip. He's like, does she know? And he's like, what are you talking about? And he has a gun on the pad. Oh my god, I'm getting goosebumps talking about that. I live for that scene. But yeah, that would be my only complaint, is that, and I understand what they're doing. Obviously, you're setting up for the future of the MCU. You're setting up for the future of the X-Men. Kind of like you mentioned, they really don't know where Jean's going or what her future holds. No pun intended, future Days of Future Past. But where exactly is she going to go? I did love Sadie Sink in the movie. I think she played a phenomenal Jean Grey. I know I've been on record like I'm not the big X-Men guy, or haven't really been the biggest X-Men guy. So I really don't know a true interpretation of Jean Grey, but I love the way she played it here. So I enjoyed that. Again, the little glimpses that we got of Scorpion, enjoyed that. Punisher was an awesome part of this movie. Didn't think he was going to get that much screen time. I thought it was just going to be that little tank scene and that was it. But he got a lot of screen time in this movie. Don't know what his actual runtime was, but again, just seeing the interaction between him and Peter, dating back all the way to the comic books, like that was like a perfect interaction between them two. I know it was really brief, but seeing Bruce Banner and the Hulk in this movie again, that was refreshing. Getting old school Hulk. Is there that possibility that we get that big angry green guy? The glimpses are there. The hope is there. I know he had that little device on him.
I had a feeling they kind of read him off for a little bit, in a way.
Yeah, because he's not prepared for Endgame. So
yeah, and I told
not Endgame. I'm sorry, Doomsday.
I was telling the wifey too that neither is Peter. Well, this Tom Holland Spider-Man. He's not really
Tom Holland.
Advertised for it, but I know we get that little post-credit scene, stating that there's another Spider-Man now in the universe, and I don't know if that just means like it came over from another. I'm assuming it's coming over from another universe, right? Or somehow setting up.
Yeah, I would assume. Yeah, I would assume. I don't know if maybe it's a thing where like incursions are already appearing, and maybe it's the Battle World where Doctor Doom was like the leader of it, and just has everybody going in, and maybe now it's finally picking them up. If that's Toby, if that's Andrew's version of Spider-Man, hell, maybe it's even Miles Morales. I know people were seeing like the screen kind of glitches in the way that the animation does. Like the animated movie, so maybe that's a thing. So I mean, obviously you have a lot of different possibility there in that regard. So it kind of leads up to an open interpretation of what that end credit scene is. And of course, at the end, we just get Spider-Man will return. We don't have a will return in Doomsday. We don't have any of that. So yeah, I guess it's just too big of a potato for Spider-Man where he's not involved. Big potato. So yeah, seeing the Elena, that was surprising. Didn't think about that, or didn't think about it, but that didn't even cross my mind. So yeah, seeing her in the little hot tub scene or the office scene, like that was a funny little moment there. And her little screen username like Macaroni Lover or something like that. So yeah, all those moments there, they lived up to it. But yeah, again, I would think my one little complaint here would be the lack of a true Spider-Man villain throughout the whole duration of the film.
Very valid.
But yeah, man, this movie.
Now that you bring up that they drew some inspiration from the games. Now the villain group, which I don't know if they were officially, they're called Damage Control. Which shout out Damage Control from WWE. We miss you.
Shout them out.
It kind of reminds you of that group in the game, like the Sable Corporation group in the game.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where they drew that from. Maybe they didn't want to waste a big ticket villain, I guess, on here. So who knows? I know there's already talks about them doing a number 5. So
you think Sony's seeing this? I'm like, we think you're stopping here, buddy. Like, go get up. I think somebody said a quote. I don't know if it was Kevin Feige or like the CEO of Sony was like, oh, we're gonna give both Tom Holland and Zendaya a little break, and then when they're ready, we'll give them a call. I think I sent, was it you or I might have sent to Mrs. Moon, where it's the scene from Breaking Bad where it's Walter and his lawyer, where he's like, we're done when I say we're done.
Yeah, I mean, we've all seen Sony's Spider-Verse, and that's gone. So Yeah.
Mine is from the villain arc movies, which those have been absolutely freaking terrible.
Yeah, they're bad. Not too long ago, I saw. Well, it's been a couple of months now, but I saw. Finally got around to seeing Madam Web, and
that movie's fucking terrible.
Yeah, that was really bad.
That movie's bad.
Yeah.
Genuinely bad. Like I try not to I try not to hate a lot of movies. There's a lot of work that goes into it making a movie, but man, that movie is terrible. Like who greenlit this? Who legit saw yep, that's good to go. We're shooting out there. I didn't even bother wasting my time with Craven. Did you see that one?
I have not. I have not seen that one. I'm kind of back in the same boat. It's just kind of one of those movies where it's just like, if I really have nothing to do, or if I want to put something on in the background while I'm working, it's like one of those movies that I'm gonna probably put on. I think that's how I watched Madame Web, I want to say, and it just wasn't good.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Not good. Along with, did you ever see Morbius?
We saw Morbius. Not good. End credit scene, stupid, pointless, makes no sense. I think that's end scene just made it worse. I'm like, dude, what? Yeah, all the Venom movies were like, eh. The first one I liked a lot, but the third one just wasn't it. And it just had a lot going on in that one. I don't know if you've seen the last one. I think it's called The Last Dance or something like that.
Last Dance, yeah.
Yeah, it was just a bunch of venomized people just running around the place fighting.
Yeah.
Explosions.
I didn't like it.
Also, another endless, pointless scene that I think is not gonna amount to nothing. But who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, because obviously they did have that end credit scene in Far From Home when they show him and they bring him in, Venom licks the screen, that absolute nothing burger, and he's stuck in Mexico and No Way Home, and absolute nothing burger there. Trying to think if there's anything else as far as the movie here that I liked. All the emotional aspects hit. It's kind of scary how bad how we as fans have been wanting a depressed, sad, broke Spider-Man. It's so crazy, but it absolutely works.
Finally got it.
The scene that did it for me, the thing that did for me too as well, is the first rooftop scene at night when they reunite for the first time, and you think she's starting to remember, but it's just Jean Grey. Man, that scene fucking hit me right in the film. Oh my, I was getting goosebumps of them just talking, and then when it realizes that it's not her, oh man, that hurt a lot. So and then obviously it kind of goes down to also the I don't love you, when she says that to him.
Yeah, even when she read the letter to him, or she after she read the letter, she's like, I don't know you. I was like, oof.
Yeah, rough, absolutely rough. And of course, at the end, we do see here Ned does recognize him to an extent. Don't know if it's the Spider-Man-esque that he remembers, but does remember a little bit. I know we've seen some people talk about a theory that's going on right now is that I don't know if it feels like explosion, but when Jean Grey extends further to the city, how she gets inside your brain and she's going through your memories. There's a deep down, people forget about Peter Parker, but the memories are still there. So I think that's where they're saying that maybe he's starting to remember it a little bit. I
think that's also why I said that MJ was sitting at the rooftop. That she kind of remembers. And
she's touching his necklace, necklace that she gave him in Far From Home. So so who knows? Maybe she's starting to remember a little bit. Maybe that's part 5. I think another selfish part of me was, and this is what I was telling Mrs. Moon about it, is I love the trio between Ned and MJ. I really do. But I kind of want to start seeing them expand a little bit more. If you really are gonna make a 5 and a 6 and maybe even beyond, I would like to start. I know Oscorp, for what we know, is not in this universe, but I would think they're out there.
Yeah.
And for a minute, I thought that blonde girl in his hotel. I thought for a minute that could have been Gwen Stacy.
I thought so too. I mean, they haven't named her. We don't know.
They didn't name her. They didn't name her. Yeah. So because I was telling Mrs. Moon about this, because I know MJ is the one in the comic books that he ends up being with, but his first true love is Gwen Stacy. That's the girl that's the girl he loves. And there's a comic book I just read. It's called you got to read it. Maybe I'll even lend it to you. It's called Spider-Man Blue. I read that leading up to the movie, and it's one of the best books that I've ever read. But it's basically without spoiling it. It's basically him telling stories of him as Spider-Man, but he's in a tape recorder and he's reading it to Gwen, but he's with MJ. So it's really, really good. Yeah, it's really, really good. And like, yeah, and the ending, I'm not gonna spoil it if nobody hasn't read Spider-Man Blue.
Is it on the Marvel Unlimited app? Do you know?
It should be. It's a miniseries. It's a 1 through 6. I bought the trade paperback of it. It's a 1 through 6 miniseries. It's written by, I believe, Jeff Loeb. There's another one I'm reading right now. It's called Spider-Man, I think, Through the Life or something like that. We're written by Chip Zdarsky. That's another good one, too. Kind of goes to the same thing where he's with Gwen and kind of transitions to MJ and things like that. So, yeah, again, me being selfish, I would love to start seeing...
It's totally unrelated to these movies, but I think that's also why, like, I have, like, a soft spot for, like, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, these two movies, because it's the only movies that we get the Gwen arc. I mean, I know we get the little Gwen's sighting in Spider-Man 3 and Tobey's universe, which we'll talk about that maybe another day. But Andrew Garfield's is like 2 movies. Obviously, I know that there was supposed to be a third, never came around to it, but like we got the story arc of Gwen, and I think Andrew's Spider-Man. I think to me, like, I think he's one of my more favorite. Like when it comes to like showing emotion, like I still cannot watch like Gwen's death scene, and like if every time I watch it, like it literally chokes me up, and like even like his reaction to it, just like it gets me every time. And I think that's why even in God, what's the one with this last one? It's far from home. No Way Home. So Far Gone. Is that what it's called? So Far Gone? No, it's not called So Far Gone.
No Way Home?
Is that what it's called? No Way Home? The third
All
one?
3 of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home.
Far From Home, No Way Home. Okay, yeah. So No Way Home. Like when Andrew Garfield Spider-Man saves,
MJ. Yeah.
Matt Peters, MJ. Yeah, like when you could see it in his face of how much it meant to him. It gets me every time, man.
It does. Yeah, I would agree with you 100%. Yeah, that's to me being selfish and like just wanting a little bit more. Is like, and I get it what they're doing with the trio. Like I get all that, but a part of me kind of wants to expand a little bit. Maybe you can also maybe introduce Black Cat. Like that's another love interest.
We need to.
That's another way. That's another way you can go in this movie. I do think he needs to have, and again, I get it, but I think the love triangle, or if you want to call it a rectangle with her, like those are things that do happen. Like it's not just strictly like he's not like just an MJ guy. Like it's not the way it works. Like he started with Gwen, goes to MJ, and then between MJ, like he has a lot of. He's a kind of man. I think that's why a lot of people just gravitate towards him so much. And Spider-Man as a character is there's a lot of things that are just so relatable to him, where like you just feel for him as a person and as a character, where it's like you're kind of seeing it maybe through your eyes or through like wherever's going on in your life. So I think that's why he's just like so relatable, and I think that's why the movie is doing what it's doing. I think he's arguably, I don't even want to say arguably, I think he is a top tier super. Like I think he tops Superman. I think he tops Batman for sure. Like those movies are not doing these numbers, and I think that, and it's for that reason. He's just so relatable, and I think that's what makes these movies so good. And just makes his version of this character so good. And I think that's a perfect segue into our live ranking here, as far as of, again, if you want to throw in your animated movies, you're more than welcome to. My list is strictly live action. And this is on Letterboxd, so if you guys follow me on Letterboxd, you would have gotten in an early scoop as far as of my ranking here.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to do this.
So again, going to be curious to see. Yeah, you can make a list there. So I put Spider-Man live
Star
action.
Star Wars movie ranking on this day.
Yeah, you could do Star Wars on there. You could do Star Wars.
Some Lord of the Rings action.
I gotta do my
Not jumping
Lord
ahead.
of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings action.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings. I've been watching the Hobbits. Haven't been that good. If I'm being completely honest, we'll get there when we get there. So yes, I do have a Spider-Man live action ranking on Letterboxd. Spider-Man live action. With great power comes great responsibility. That's what I have there in my bio. So I'll throw it over to you, because I have 8 movies on mine. Again, just consider live action. Do you want my full? You want
to list off those 8 movies? What we got?
Yes. All right. So here we go. At number 8, I know we just talked about them, and I and preface, I don't think any of these movies are bad. There's good and there's bad with a lot of these movies for sure, but these are movies that I can go back and easily watch. Like I don't think there realistically is like a truly bad Spider-Man movie. So I just want to preface that. as I give my ranking here. But at number 8, I do have The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. I do enjoy it. I do like it. Again, like we just talked about, I do think Andrew Garfield is one of, if not a better interpretation of Spider-Man compared to Tobey Maguire. But yeah, there's just some things are a little bit wrong with this film. I think the whole parent thing is kind of runs a little bit further than it should. That also follows up with TASM 2. But yeah, I kind of talking about it. I like the Lizard in the movie. I like having a true Spider-Man villain. Again, the Gwen Stacy, the Captain Stacy, those are all things from the comic books that I enjoyed reading. So kind of see it into live action was again very enjoyable. It's just, again, there's just some things wrong with, with the movie, the pacing, things like that, where I just generally have it ranked last because of that. Coming in at number 7, I have Spider-Man 3. As a kid, I loved this movie. As a kid, this movie was everything to me. The marketing was fantastic. The black suit was like everything to me as a kid. Obviously, as an adult rewatching it, there's some good. Don't get me wrong, but there is a lot of bad. And I think what this one is just trying to compile a lot of things in a 2.5 hour movie. You're dealing with, Spider-Man, him going off to the Black Series, you're dealing with that symbiote. You're then dealing with Harry Osborn, dealing with that death of Norman. He died in part 1, but finding out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, so you're dealing with that. Like you mentioned there, you have Gwen Stacy being involved. She's in there for a little bit. You then have the symbiote being attached to Eddie Brock in the last, 20-ish, 15 minutes, give or take. You're then dealing with Sandman. So I get what they're trying to do, but I think they try tackling too much in that one. So that I have Spider-Man 3 at number 7. Coming in at number 6. Am I doing this right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, no, wait. 7, 8, 9. So, main Spider-Man 9, Spider-Man 3, 8. Coming in at number 7, I have Amazing Spider-Man 2. Like I just talked about.
Whoa!
Some of the best. I have it.
Wait, Amazing. 7. Oh, never mind. I heard you wrong. I'm sorry.
You think I said Spider-Man 2?
I thought you said Spider-Man 2. I didn't hear the amazing part. I was like,
man,
whoa!
I was like, man, you like TASM 2 that much? I was like, I know we're kind of glazing it a little bit, but I have TASM 2 at number 7. Again, like we just talked about, there's some good in that movie. The Gwen Stacy relationship, the dynamic is good. But again, there's just, I think, a lot of bad in that movie where you can't outweigh the good. The Harry Osborn stuff, the Electro stuff, even though he kind of does redeem himself in No Way Home. I don't think it's really that good in this one. Again, some of the best web swinging that we've seen up to Brand New Day. But yeah, again, I would have TASM 2 at number 7. Coming in at number 6, I do have Far From Home, which is the one with Mysterio. Again, a fine one. Not one I really find myself going to rewatching a lot. This movie has been getting a lot of hate online from what I've been seeing recently. So maybe I have to give it like a true rewatch. Maybe those flip. But yeah, I remember enjoying this movie a lot. I think that Mysterio scene where he's kind of like all hypnotized under the Mysterio smoke or whatever, the poison. He kind of sees Tony Stark like rising from the grave. Some of the coolest things I've ever seen in a Spider-Man movie up to that time. Reminding me a lot of the 90s cartoon.
You gotta give him credit too. It's knowing who Mysterio is, like it's very hard to depict a live action Mysterio. I think the way they went about it was perfect in my eyes, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know people somehow. I think people like to go against that take. They're like, dealing with the whole like multiverse stuff.
What the hell do they want him to do?
Yeah, people just like to hate on everything these days. Yeah, it's popular culture. It's to hate on things. It's like you can't like anything. So, I agree with you 100%. It's just one of the ones where I don't go to find myself rewatching, but I think it's a fine movie. Coming in at number 5. I have Spider-Man Homecoming. This one I do enjoy a little bit more than Far From Home. Obviously, again, I know a lot of flack this movie gets is the, Tony Stark Jr., the Iron Man Jr., things like that, which warranted. I can see where you're coming from in that regards, but like I just talked about, I absolutely love the Vulture in this movie. That scene, going to when they're riding in the car, when he recognizes him, the good old Spider-Man. Like, oh man, like again, absolutely just love that scene. So I do like the Vulture in this movie, following up from Civil War as well. So I think it's a good movie. Enjoyed it for Tom Holland's first iteration of the character in the first full-fledged film. Coming in at number 4, I do have No Way Home. Again, like we just talked about, I think this movie, if you go online, has kind of not aged well. I did rewatch it leading up to Brand New Day. There is a little bit of issues with it. Don't get me wrong. Again, some of the color grading is a little bit weird. Some of the aspects of the story is a little bit weird. Like, some of the loopholes, I guess you can say. Again, like I talked about some of the CGI, it does look a little bit wonky. But there's no denying. I'm not gonna let that affect the way that I felt coming out of that movie theater during 2021. Like you had to be there. Like that was a freaking time as a Marvel and a Spider-Man fan. Like that was just absolutely phenomenal. Seeing them both, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, and Tom Holland all in the same movie. Like that's thing that we didn't think we were ever gonna see. And the fact that we got them all in one movie, part of the MCU, like there's a lot of nostalgia between that, and yeah, there's not much that I could say about that. It absolutely, I enjoy it. Again, there are some things that are wrong with it visually and maybe story wise, but I think from an overall nostalgia factor, is arguably one of my favorite Spider-Man movies. Coming in at number 3, we got Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Perfect first one there, obviously Green Goblin. Like I talked about, I love my Spider-Man rogue villains, so Green Goblin kicking this off here. Absolutely of a menace in this movie. We talked about Tobey Maguire here. A perfect. I don't know where they would rank. They could be all interchangeable. I think when you rank them as far as a Peter Parker or Spider-Man, he is probably one of. I would put him towards the bottom at 3. But I think the overall, just again, the story with the movie, how it progresses. There's really nothing wrong with that movie, in my opinion. So I would have Spider-Man here coming in at number 3. Coming in at number 2, I do have Spider-Man Brand New Day. Not much for me to talk about that. We obviously just talked about how great this movie is. But it's not topping. Maybe it might change after I get my IMAX viewing. But coming in at number 1, I do have Spider-Man 2, which you thought was ranked number 7. Spider-Man 2 is still, in my opinion, arguably the greatest superhero movie of all time. Like when you want to compare to DC movies or like other like Marvel movies, like Spider-Man 2 is arguably one of the greatest movies that I've ever seen. Again, Spider-Man Rogue Doc Ock does not get any better than that. And again, shows the true trouble that Peter Parker and Spider-Man has, struggling with being on time, going to class, handling a relationship, and while still wanting to be and trying to be Spider-Man. And obviously in the movie he loses his powers due to that, or as you say in No Way Home, a web blocker. It just again goes through the troubles of what it, what great power comes great responsibility. Like that is the perfect example of that. And yeah, that movie it still has aged well. In my opinion, I need to go back and rewatch it again because it's just absolutely one of my favorite movies as far as a Spider-Man, and again, arguably one of the best superhero movies of all time. Obviously, if you want to throw in the animated, you can say, I do enjoy Into the Spider-Verse more than Across the Spider-Verse. So I mean, I would have to like move some things around, but of course that's the animated. But yeah, that's my list again. TASM, Spider-Man 3, TASM 2, Far From Home, Homecoming, No Way Home, Spider-Man, Spider-Man Brand New Day, and Spider-Man 2. That is my official ranking of the Spider-Man live action films.
We legit have them ranked pretty much similar, except for the last 2 movies. I have Spider-Man 3 last for me, and then I have The Amazing Spider-Man next. Is that how you had it?
And I have.
Yeah.
That's the way.
Yeah, so like on mine, and mine's a little bit longer because I did include the animated versions of it because I love those movies. So, rank last, I have Spider-Man 3, followed by The Amazing Spider-Man, and then The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Again, not to crap on Andrew Garfield's movie line, but obviously the emotions were in those movies. I just think the villains were kind of hard to resonate with. like I don't like the Goblin. I don't like the way they portrayed the Green Goblin, and they made the Spider-Man 2. They obviously played it comic booky, where he is actually the one who threw Gwen off the the ledge. Um, I did like the Electro. He was a little bit more of the Ultimate look. If you're into the Ultimate comics, he's like a little bit more bluish. And the Lizard, I was fine with the Lizard too, and obviously they portrayed a little bit too. Same with the comics with Captain Stacy and his death and stuff like that. So they're very comic book related. It's just some of the villains were just kind of weird. Also, I didn't like the way they did the Rhino at the end.
Rhino, yeah.
Spider-Man 2. That was a little funky. So yeah, so those are there. I think you had it the same way. I have Far From Home listed after that, then Homecoming at 7. After that, I have Into the Spider-Verse at 6, which that is the first animated that we get to see Miles, and introduces Spider-Gwen. We get the little cast of Spider-Noir and Spider-Pig and Penny Parker and stuff like that. Yeah, for me, animation, like, it's kind of hard for me to get into it. Just recently, I've been watching it a little bit more, and that's probably more because of the Star Wars. Like, I got really into, like, the Moth series. I went back and watched all of Rebels and stuff like that. So I think Star Wars had a real big part of that. And this was actually the first, like, animation movie that I can remember going to go watch. Besides The Killing Joke. I don't know if you remember that one. That came out years ago.
Love that.
That was the last animation movie probably that I can remember seeing. So I really liked it. I like how it expanded the whole universe. You know me, I hate time travel sometimes. It's just too confusing in movies because you can't mess up this without messing up that. But then he went over there and changed it.
If you mess up the past, then that's your future. If you mess up the future, then that's your past. I'm like, what?
I can't tell you how many times I've ChatGPT tried to explain me the end of Endgame, like numerous times about the time zones and stuff like that. Same thing with the Loki series. I had such a hard time with time travel. But anywho's, I think they did it pretty good here. I liked it. After that, I got No Way Home. At number 4, I have the OG Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire, which I have Brand New Day ahead of it at 3. That one was kind of rough because it's kind of hard to put them in perspective. Like, one's just pure nostalgia. Every time you see it, you just can't help but watch it and stuff like that. But I think from, like, I don't want to say an enjoyment level, but just from, like, an emotional level, I think I have Brand New Day over it, just because maybe it's just because it's fresh, I don't know, but that's just the way I currently feel right now. At 2, I have Across the Spider-Verse. I love this movie. Like, this, I think I can watch
even
it,
with
like,
the
I don't know
cliffhanger.
So this is another one of these movies where we saw it in theaters, and I remember watching it, and I lost track of time, honestly. Like, that's how immersed I was in this movie. I think I even love that whole part when, like, Miles gets sucked into the Spider-Verse world, and he's there with, like, Miguel and Spider-Gwen, and they're in the Spider world, and you can literally see, like, how they're all... I got goosebumps just talking about it right now. You can just literally see how, like, every single Spider-Man is, like, linked up in its entirety. Like, you see Toby, you see Andrew, you see freaking what's-his-face as a Prowler, Gambino, who's in... Peter in this current Peter's world. He's there as a Prowler. Like, you see the Spider-Man Insomniac there. Yeah, you see the Spider-Man Insomniac in the video game. So, like, in what way, like, they're all just combined. We just never knew about it until, then. Yeah, I just love that scene. And you just see, like, how, Miguel tells him, like, this has to happen for, you to really become, Spider-Man. So he's kind of, like, telling him, like, hey, you gotta let your dad die if you really want to take control of it, and everybody's just okay with it, and, like, he wants to change that. And I think just the way all the colors are, like, and anyways, getting to the end, like, I remember when it's getting to the part where Miles is stuck in his actual world where that spider came from, where he got bit. I remember when Gwen was regrouping the group, getting all the spiders back together, and I was like, dude, this movie has been going on for so long. Like, are we going to go, like, another 30 minutes? And then you get the cliffhanger where it's going to be the third movie, which should have been out, I think, like, last year already at this point. And I remember seeing it, and I was like, oh, shit. And I remember I didn't tell the wifey that it was going to be a third one, and she looks at me, she's like, there's going to be a third one? And I was like, I completely forgot there was going to be a third one. It's just, yeah. Anyways, I could go on and on about the movie. I absolutely love it. Now that I think about it, I'm probably going to watch it tomorrow while I'm working. It's just one of those movies I got to do it. And then, of course, at number one, it has Spider-Man 2. It's just great. There's just nothing wrong with that movie. I love Doc Ock. You get Harry going crazy. Obviously, hearing the voices of his father and the Green Goblin. But yeah, I mean, obviously, we get Doc Ock in No Way Home. It's the same person. But yeah, I think he's like, I think that's the best thing about those OG movies. Like, those were some, well, specifically the first two. Like, those were some of the, like, most accurate looking costumes for villains in the world. Like,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
would agree.
I love it. Goblin, Doc Ock. If you want to throw in Venom, he looked a little skinny. He could have been a little bit more bulkier if you want to throw that. Sandman also looked on point.
Yeah.
And then you got that
god
awful new Goblin, which wasn't really a fan of, but that's a story for another day, maybe. But yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, Venom definitely need to be a little bit more buffed up in that way. I think Eddie Brock in general needs to be a little bit more buffed up. Because what's that actor's name? The guy from that 70s show? I don't think he was
I don't know.
a very good whatever his name is. Yeah, Eric Foreman. Not a very good Eddie Brock or Venom. So yeah, that's one of their issues with that movie. Because I think the last two they're interchangeable. Like whatever I'm feeling that day, like I can go back and we'll probably watch ASM more than Spider-Man 3 than vice versa. Because again, the bully Toby and the bully Peter is still, even though it's bad to an extent, it's still one of the best things that come out of one of those movies.
I'm gonna rub some dirt in your eye.
I'm gonna rub some dirt in your eye. And the whole dance scene is like, I actually saw some clips were rolling on him. He's like, I want to take some shots of you sometimes. Like, oh, Peter Parker, Peter. I was like, those are some of the best things.
We got a lot of memes from that movie, so we got to give it that.
Yeah. So maybe that's why I'm a little bit more biased as far as like, I was like, why I can't put that one. I was like, there's a lot of great memes that are coming out of that. But yeah, that's our ranking there. Yeah, see, if I would have thrown the animated, that's because man, I feel like I would have to put. I think I like Into more than Across. That's I don't know. I don't know. I would have to see them like legitimately back to back to determine that. Cause I agree with you 100% as far as of Across the Spider-Verse. You're unmuted. I agree with you 100% on Across the Spider-Verse. Like that whole scene in general where they're talking about you got to have your moment, and it's showing them like we see Andrew Garfield have his moment, we saw Toby have his moment. So like seeing that and like the scene again all like the Insomniac, like I remember just like losing my shit when I saw that. The Insomniac, like you mentioned there, absolutely again Gambino, everything that you just mentioned was absolutely insane. It's the cliffhanger that kind of makes it rough for me. I think that's where I'm like I like Into a little bit more potentially because of that, but yeah, I might do that tomorrow actually.
And soundtrack on both of those movies.
Yeah, soundtrack is amazing. Yeah. If there's one thing about me, I love a good score and I love soundtrack. Mrs. Moon knows that about me. Like when there's a good song that comes out in the movie, like oh man, like I'm like that. That's it. So yeah, I think I do. I think I have to go give them like a back-to-back watch and then come back next episode. We're like, all right, here's my all-time Spider-Man movie ranking. But yeah, that's our Spider-Man Brand New Day. That's our Spider-Man talk. You guys have to let us know, what did you guys think about Spider-Man Brand New Day? If you're listening to this podcast, I would hope by now you've seen Spider-Man Brand New Day. What is your rank on your all-time list? Is Tom your Peter Parker? Is he the best live-action Peter Parker? Is he the best live-action Spider-Man? Let's continue this further discussions here. Again, send them in the comments down below, or feel free to message us and tweet us, or just comment on one of our videos or post there. Again, all of our social media links are down below. X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Instagram, YouTube, wherever. Letterboxd, go follow us on Letterboxd. Carry the conversation over there. You can have comments and conversations over on Letterboxd. So that is everything there that is possible there in that regards. Now on to some small little hobby talk. Nothing too crazy. And as far as on our end here, as far as of hobby talk, we do have 2026 Topps Chrome Marvel Sapphire. That is officially dropping here. It says here on Beckett that it was August 5th, which is today, the day of recording. I'm seeing breaks officially loaded for tomorrow. So by the time we listen to this episode, Sapphire breaks are already loaded on Fanatics Live, and I'm pretty sure your local hobby stores here will be having these sets available for you. They are going for a pretty penny from last time I saw here. Let me see if I'm able to get a direct access to these boxes here. So yeah, looking at here right now on eBay, pre-sales right now are going for 800 plus. Seeing like 815, like around like $800 right now is what we're seeing on the pre-sale.
This might be a hot take or something, but I feel like I'm the only probably person in this damn hobby who does not give a damn about Sapphire, like regardless of the product. Like I just don't. You can't tell me that these little Sapphire looking cars is gonna boost up the value that much. Like there's no way. You can't convince me otherwise. You just can't. I'm sorry. That's my hot take.
I might clip this.
Get roasted on the freaking on the comments. Like I really don't. Like I really don't. I don't get it. I really just don't get it. I don't.
Yeah, the way people have always promoted it's a premium chrome. I've never opened a box of Sapphire. I've just picked up singles because people thoroughly enjoy this product more than chrome to an extent. I'm with you. I still prefer chrome over Sapphire.
Give me a good old classic refractor over a Sapphire.
Yeah, I agree.
Come on,
I agree. So I would assume you're not a Papa guy. Then you're not a Papa Dasha guy.
I don't think I've ever bought into like a Sapphire break. Like, just never have. Yeah. So
confirmed here, Bropio, not a Papa guy. He's not a Papa Dasha. You know his name's Bro. He's that Dad Who Collects Socials. He's not a Papa guy. He's not a Papa Dasha guy.
I'm a dad, but just don't give a damn about the damn Papa Dasha.
Did not give a damn about the Papa Dasha clip. That's the quote card for this episode. But looking at it here for Sapphire Marvel, I mean, there's nothing. If I'm being completely honest, like this is probably a set that I would and a product like I would kind of stay away from. Like if I had the opportunity, like I would rather go put my money in chrome. There's better looking inserts. You have better cool looking refractors and parallels. Like, and this one here, like you're the 200 card base set. Obviously you're going for the hidden gems and the infinite. Those are your case hits. But there's not a lot of them out there. Typically, like in hidden gems and other sets, or typically another traditional sports product, you typically have a longer list. In the inserts here for Topps Chrome Marvel Sapphire, you only have Carnage, Jeff the Land Shark, Magic, Rogue, and then Spider-Man. And then on your infinite list, you have Emma Frost, Ghost Spider, Moon Knight, Elektra, Silk, Hawkeye, Loki, Black Panther, She-Hulk, and X-23. So a little awkward there on the list. You're not having your Thors, your Iron Mans. So it is a little bit odd as far as of like who got the case hits and who got the hidden gems and who got the infinites. What's also being carried here in this set is the facsimile autos. There's a lot of autos here for superheroes. So we have like Captain Britain, Cyclops, Doc Ock, Galactus, Green Goblin, Ghost Rider, Juggernaut, Mary Jane, Namor, Nick Fury, Nightcrawler, Storm, Venom, Vision, and War Machine. There's dual autos, Psylocke, Captain Britain, Psylocke of Green Goblin, and Harry Osborn, Gwen Stacy, Mary Jane. That's kind of awkward. Spider-Man, Venom, Scarlet Witch, Vision, Iron Man, War Machine. You have triple autos. We have Vision, Agatha Harkness, Scarlet Witch, Nick Fury, Iron Man, War Machine, Gwen Stacy, Peter Parker, Mary Jane. Again, a little awkward. And then we got Cyclops, Storm, and Nightcrawler. And then we have quad autos. We have Doctor Doom, Silver Surfer, Galactus, and Namor, which that's kind of cool, leading up to like Secret Wars. And then we have Venom, Doc Ock, Green Goblin, and Spider-Man. I don't think we've ever really talked about it, so I guess we can just talk about it here as we talk about autos. 'Cause I know we talked about a little bit of autos when it comes to like the Disney and like the Disney princesses and things like that. How do you feel about the superhero facsimile autos?
I mean, I don't mind them. I think they're pretty cool, but I also don't think I'd pay like all this damn money to have it. Like, can you imagine in real life there was like a real life Spider-Man signing with Doc Ock and Goblin?
I want to know what that. I want to see that sit down.
You know that shit's gonna be a sticker auto for sure. You ain't gonna have to be in the same room. But yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. I do like them, but I don't think it again is something like I'm gonna be like. I don't want to say I would chase it if they had it, but I'm not gonna be like out there like spending tons of money on it. You know, I am honestly like me personally. I think I would rather have like an actual like. I mean, I know this is totally different, but I'd rather have like a comic book like signed by like an artist or something like that. Like even in Topps in Marvel Comics, like there's autos from like some of the comic book
Artists.
that they've written
Yeah.
for. Yeah, and they're like super cheap. They're like $10-15. And I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
there's no way it should be that cheap. So I think honestly that'd be the route for me, from a collector standpoint. But if I run into like a nice little facsimile auto, like for the
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Cool.
I'm watching a couple of them right now on collects. I'll show you the screenshot of one I'm thinking about buying. I'll show you two of them that I'm thinking about buying, with some collects credit. But yeah, I'm the same way. I like them. I don't think they're
Same thing for,
like. I know there's some
sketch cards.
people.
I think you could probably get more bang for your buck on a sketch card than you can for.
Yeah, we talked about it here. I got a sketch card for $50.
There you go.
And I think it's like comps were like $70, $80. But again, I always talked about with comps, like it's what you're willing to pay for the card. And like I think somebody willing to pay for that. Cool, cool little showcase piece. But yeah, I would agree. I do like facsimile autos. I don't necessarily hate them. There is an audience that truly just think it's gimmicky and they hate it, which you have a fair point. Like again, it's fair. Like I see where you're coming from in that regard. Like you just mentioned, like we have Spider-Man, Doc Ock, Green Goblin, and sitting on a table together, all hard signing a card. Like obviously, yes, it's all sticker auto, so I get that. But I mean, if you go and compare it, muted.
I know we're just talking about like a comp is a comp, and like you pay what you would pay. But like, do you think what these cards sometimes go for is a little too much? Like I see some crazy amount of cards.
I was
like I think
as
not
you were
too long ago I
speaking.
saw. I don't remember what the PSA grade was, but it was a Goofy from how much I love my boy Goofy. Like it hit like the $800 range, and I'm like, there's no way. Like I'd rather go get the voice actor who does Goofy, Bill Farmer. Like I'd rather get his autograph than just a stamp that says Goofy. This is crazy. I don't know.
This one might blow your mind. This is the 2026 Topps Chrome Marvel facsimile. It's out of 10. It's Spider-Man and Venom. It's numbered 5 out of 10. What do you think that's sold for? Actually, it just sold today, August 5th, as we're recording this episode. What do you think that's sold for?
I'm pretty sure it's something stupid. Like, is it raw or graded?
Raw.
Raw. 1,500?
Higher.
$2,000?
Higher.
3,500?
2,500.
Damn.
And then right below that, we're talking about a quad. Spider-Man, Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Venom at a 50. That sold for 1,500. A Black Wave of Venom, book N 10 out of 10, sold for 1,375. A duel of Captain Britain, Psylocke, sold for 1,205. A quad of Doctor Doom, Silver Surfer, Galactus, and Namor, sold for 1,050. But like on the flip side of that, like there are some there's some like I would have probably paid, like I don't know if I would have paid this, but like $82, 32 out of 50. A Doc Ock sold for $82. Out of 25, Namor sold for 37.
Cool.
A Vision and Scarlet Witch sold for 108. So I mean that's not terrible.
I will say this too, like Spider-Man and Venom, they can't break their ankles or they can't tear their Achilles. I think who was it who said that?
That's a very fair point. I was going to bring that up.
Who's the baseball player? Who you refresh my memory. I know was it Evan
Is it
Longoria?
Jacob Mizorowski?
Or Jacob Mizorowski, was it him? Yeah, who said like
It might have been either or.
There was another guy too. I feel like who just recently said it. But yeah, like players and athletes, like we put a lot. Some people, well, not me necessarily, but there are people out there who put a lot of stock into like prospecting and stuff like that. And those guys obviously they play real life sports and come across real life injuries. Sometimes they come back from it the same, sometimes they don't. But Spider-Man's always gonna be there. That dude's been kicking it since the '60s, so and he's still going strong. So
I love that. Yeah, I would say
that.
I love that. Spider-Man, Venom, Goofy, Mickey Mouse. They're never gonna get a DUI. They're never gonna tear their ACL. They're never gonna get Tommy John surgery. And I think that's like why I just like generally love the non-sport collectible space, is seeing like what people are willing to pay for and what they value. Like all those characters that we just mentioned are either gonna have movies and or shows that are coming out that's only going to increase their interest even further. So I absolutely love that. And I think that's where the mindset has been going recently, in that regards there. Because another release here that we do have is we have Star Wars Galaxy 2026. Now, I'm completely honest. I don't know too much about the Star Wars hobby. I know you're a little bit more knowledgeable than me because you ripped open a box of this last year.
I did.
What are
Yeah.
we expecting out of 2026 Galaxy? What's cool about it? What makes this different? I know there's a lot of different subsets between like the Star Wars. I know there's different sets in that regards, but what made, because you're a guy that doesn't normally buy hobby boxes. So what is it with
Yeah,
Galaxy?
man.
Where even with this set too, you're even thinking about it. You said on collecting the 1, 2, 3, where you're like, oh, like I might have to like see which one I want. Like, what is it about
Yeah.
Star Wars Galaxy where it's like I want to get a hobby box? Like, what's the chase? What are you chasing? How do you attack it? This is where I'm gonna let you cook, because I don't think we've ever really like talked about Star Wars cards in person or on the pod. So I'm gonna let you
Yeah,
cook with this, my guy. What do you got?
These are hard just because it's kind of like cosmic for, like, I guess in all sports, or really if you want to just compare it to WWE. You're not really guaranteed anything besides 4 numbered hits. That's all you're guaranteed. So it is a high price point for just getting guaranteed 4 numbered hits. Like, I've seen some before I bought my hobby box last year. Like, I saw some breaks and I was really hesitant on it because some were like some real duds and some weren't. Like, I think on one video I saw like the lowest hit they got was like number to 99. The rest was like 250, 299, stuff like that. Like, and it just, I was like, ugh. Like, that's a hard selling point. But then you see other people and like obviously they pull good luck. My box was fairly good. If you go back on my TikTok, I know it's further down. I think it was like in December, I want to say. Yeah, I think it was December of last year. I bought my box. I ended up getting 5 numbered cards out of it and a sketch card. The sketch card, which I still have here with me, but I did sell some of the hits off. But yeah, so it's a really big, hard selling point. Like I said, you only get your 4 hits. But you are chasing autos. There's a bunch of autos in here. I haven't actually had the time to dissect the auto list. But if it's anything like last year's, like all your big characters are in there. So everybody's chasing like I gotta check it, but see who's in here. But for the most part,
Yeah, looking at the autograph list. Yeah, man, it's absolutely loaded. You got Adam Driver,
like
Kylo Ren, John Boyega, Finn.
In there. Yeah.
Yes, Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Natalie Portman, Emilia Clarke, who plays Kira from the Han Solo movies, usually in there. Those are like some of the big chases.
Pedro Pascal's in here.
Yeah, he's going to be the big one. Obviously, is as a Mandalorian. So yeah, it's always a fun read. But I mean, the reason why I think why I do like this amount is the artwork. Like, the artwork on these cards, they're all chrome stock. The artwork is it's on another level, man. Like, there's not another. Like, the base cards alone is just enough to probably even buy the product. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah, because looking at it here, like looking at the checklist, like it looks like every card is done by like a certain artist, which is really cool. Like, just looking at here, like the Mandalorian's Escape art by Claudio Aboy.
So on the back of the card,
that's
like,
really
when you
cool.
flip it over, it'll give you the artist on there. So I have seen some Star Wars content creators, like, what they do is they'll go to like cons and stuff like that, or they'll go to stuff, and if the artist is there, they'll take like a base card of that card and have them sign it and stuff like that. So
that's really cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's the artwork. The only thing is, it's a high price point. I know I missed out on the pre-order. I want to say the pre-order was like around the $200 range. I think when it dropped last time, I think it was around $280. I could be wrong. So the resale market on these is crazy. Actually, I went to GameStop today. It doesn't release on next upcoming Wednesday, which would be August the 12th. A GameStop right here by me already had it, and they had it marked up at $400. So, at that price, I'm out. Just because, like, again, like, to get 4 hits, that's all you're guaranteed. If you're trying to make your money back, you'd have to make $100 on each of those number cards, which is just not going to happen. But yeah, I think last year I bought my box. I think it was $320. Funny enough, I did buy it from GameStop, but it was at $320. But I had some like trading credit. I traded in some old games I didn't use, and I think I traded in. I don't know what else I had. Oh, I had points, and then I was a pro member, so I got discount on all this. So I ended up spending like $270 or $260.
I remember you saying you got a good deal on it.
So I think that's why I did it. I was like, hey, I'm paying kind of like retail, but yeah, it's just kind of hard to like do breaks on these because some people, what they do is you have to buy the card, like the card spot. So like whenever that specific card comes out, you get it. Because it is kind of hard like there could be a lot going on in the card. Like there could be like, for instance, like Luke, Han, and Leia in one card, and it would be like named the trio or some shit like that. So like you can either buy the trio spot, or if you buy like sometimes some breakers like just group all the characters together. So like anytime those characters pop up, that's your card. So that's why I usually don't do this in breaks. Usually just like buy singles on eBay or collects. But I don't know. Maybe if I can somehow get lucky on the tops drop on Wednesday. I guess we'll see how Monday goes though, because that's WWE Universe pre-order. So there's a lot of schmeckles going around the place, and so got to figure out where to put these schmeckles, these human monies, to use. But yeah, I mean it's a fun rip. Again, I don't usually do hobby. I think that's probably in my lifetime maybe the third hobby box I've ever ripped. Going back, I used to did a couple baseball back in the day, but ever since I've come back, it's kind of just been like on the single game and breaks. But
yeah,
I don't know, man. Something about these.
Looking at it here, it looks like a fun set. Like I know we talked about it off pod. Like they're calling it the Comic Fractor. There's only 5 of them. There's the Ben Kenobi, Ahsoka Tano, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Imperial TIE Fighter pilot. You probably don't want that one, if I'm being completely honest. But those were some of the cool looking cards here. Those are comic books that we collected. I think I still have a few of them here with me. I got to go through my long box. So when I saw that, I was like, all right, you got me hooked into that. But yeah, I probably wouldn't be buying. I probably won't buy a hobby box of this, but it's probably something where if I could find a single of like a character that I genuinely like, and like a like, do they have like? Is there any like Wampas in here? Is there a?
I remember.
Is there a
Wampa?
Year,
there's one in last year's sets. The Wampa chasing down Luke. I remember last year I sent you the Kit Fisto had his own card.
Yeah, the Kit Fisto. If anybody who knows me about Star Wars, I'm a sucker for like creatures. Let's see, Wampa. There's no Wampa. Damn it. Let's see, Kit Fisto. Is there a Kit Fisto? There's no Kit Fisto. Darn me. All right, I'm out.
Well, like
but
a
this
lot
is
of the times,
C-3PO
too,
and
like,
Babu Frick.
they'll be named something like looking at the checklist real quick. Like there's a card called Bounty Hunters, so it may just legit be all the bounty hunters
all of
on
them.
the card. Yeah. So that's another thing that's kind of hard to into these.
Little one, your little one's gonna go crazy for number 99. No squeezy.
Oh, dude, I saw that. I want that damn card. No squeezy. That's a bad baby. Did you ever see Mando? Did you ever see the movie?
Nah, I haven't
Mando
seen
and
it yet.
Grogu?
No, when I signed up for my AMC membership, the movie was already like out of theater, so I'm just waiting for it to hit the streaming services.
Yeah, that movie got too much hate too. This is people just
I was hearing about that.
fun.
Like I know it flopped. I know it flopped in the word. I don't want to say I think flop's a strong word. I don't think it hit the expectations that it meant, like box office wise.
yeah, I don't even think it passed Solo.
Damn, it didn't pass Solo?
I don't think so. I think it's like the lowest box office of all Star Wars films. Yeah.
Oof, never mind. I would consider that a flop then.
Yeah.
if you didn't pass Solo,
the money, Spider-Man.
The money, Spider-Man. It's about the Mets. Even though I did go see Solo, and I enjoyed that movie more.
It's basically like I think that's what they meant. I think it was originally supposed to be a season 4. Is what it was supposed to be at, but I think they wanted something in theaters, which rightfully so. Like, who wouldn't want to go see Star Wars? I only wish I could have seen. I should have gone and seen it in IMAX. Like
IMAX,
that's probably my But I think that's basically why the bad rap it got, because I think it was originally supposed to be a season 4. It didn't, and they turned it into a movie, and the movie kind of went the same direction. Like not the plot, but like the way they told the movie, the story, like was like season 1-esque, which people love season 1 and season 2. So I don't know why people were like, oh, I should have just dated the season 4. Like, who cares, man? Who cares?
Yeah.
It was a good time, and those aliens were fucking A1, bro.
Yeah,
they get like a good.
Yeah, never got around to seeing it, but I want to eventually get to see it.
A good 10-15 minute scenes where it's just the Anzelians and Grogu. I want to say, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I've seen the clips. I've seen that little no squeezy, bad baby, and like obviously I love that shit. So, eventually when it hits streaming, I will have to give it a watch.
It should be coming out soon. I know you can rent it already, so it should be out soon on Disney Plus.
Yeah, so I think I'm just waiting for it to hit that plus so I can give it a little watch there and then give my official rating on Mando and Grogu. And last topic here that we do have, as far as of TCG spaces and releases, is if you are into Magic the Gathering, the Hobbit is officially, the pre-release is officially releasing here this Friday. Scheduled release date for this product officially hits stores like your retailers like Target, Walmart's, GameStop's, Best Buy on August 14th. Obviously, we're not gonna get too much deep into the Magic talk here, as we're still learning the product. We're still learning how these cards work. I think it's been very fun to dive into the Still confused. A lot going on for sure. There's obviously there's a lot going on. Just of course wanted to highlight it here because it is one of the pop culture sets that is hitting the Magic line. It looks like a fun set. I think we talked about it the first episode. Like, I have never seen the Hobbit movies, so I'm rewatching them. I've gone through the first two. They're not the best movies I've ever seen. They're kind of rough. The first one was kind of, and the second one's a little bit better, but I haven't seen the third one yet. But glad I did, because there's obviously a lot of cool art cards in here that are representing from the first, the ice from the first two films that I've seen. Again, these are all like pre-release cards, but again, like looking at some of them, like I think some of the bigger cards here are going to be like the showcase card, the borderless cards, or like the book covers. Those are some of the, like, they have the Arkenstone, they have Thorin, they have Gandalf. There's another one here that I saw that I really like. The Smaug, the big old freaking dragon. Those are some of the cooler looking cards here. Smaug, yes. They have the Ring My Precious. They have that as a card. The Lonely Mountain. They have Bard. Just saw him in part 2. So those are. I'm glad that I watched it. I'm appreciating a little bit more of these cards. I do want to make a dwarfs deck because the dwarves are freaking cool. I forgot the name of the dwarf in the movie. It's the one with the beard and the big nose. The gray. He has like a white beard. He has a big nose. That's my favorite dwarf right now.
I haven't seen the Hobbit movies in forever. I want to say the last time I probably watched them is when the last one came out, which is I think the third one, right? There's only 3.
2014, yeah.
Whatever year that movie came out in, that's probably the last time I ever saw the Hobbits. Yeah, because
I
did like it. I think if I'm not mistaken, they all came out every year, and it was around Christmas time, so it was a good way to go to the movies. During
they did 12, 13, and 14. Yep.
Yeah. Kind of like the way they did Star Wars in a weird way, but it's been a long time. They weren't really necessarily my favorites. I'm a Lord of the Rings guy. I love the fucking Lord of the Rings. I can watch all 3 of them in a sitting.
Oh, we know you can.
If the wife allows. I think it's funny because once I watch the first one, I can't not watch part 2 and 3. Like, I have to watch The Towers. I have to watch Return of the King. And I think it was on a Sunday. The wifey I think she was cooking dinner or something like that. And she was like, just put a movie on so we can just have something on. And I'm like, all right. And it's kind of like, you browse through everything. And you're just like, I don't know what to put on. Long and behold, I'm stumbling on across HBO Max. And I'm like, I'm just going to put on Lord of the Rings. And it was never meant to be like it was meant to be just put something on and like, we'll change it later. You bet your ass my ass was on that couch for 3.5 hours. And then the next day when I'm working, I had 2 Towers on. Like, just had to, dude. Just can't. And it was funny too because I'm not even gonna say spoiler because if you haven't seen the Lord of the Rings, then what are you doing? But when Boromir dies towards the end of the movie, like, hey, I get so like choked up and emotional in that scene still too. And I remember, I think we were talking, or me and the wife were talking throughout the movie, but when that scene comes on, like, I was just quiet. And she's like, she looks at me, she's like, why are you so locked in? Why are you acting like you haven't seen this movie? I'm like, you don't get it. You don't get what Boromir was going through. He was tempted to take the ring from Frodo. He was so close to it, and then when he realized he snapped out of it, he realized he messed up. And then he died saving him. And he saved the other Merry and Pippin got caught, but he let Frodo and Sam go.
Yeah.
Come on, man. It's emotional. I think I'm watching it tomorrow. Shut up, Boromir.
Shut him out.
Shut him out, bro.
So, yeah. I mean,
the Horn of Gondor. Hey, is that a card? Is that a card in Magic? Do you know? The Horn of Gondor? That should be.
I'm pretty sure it is. Because there is a Lord of the Rings set that came out like 2 years ago, which is like, because of the Hobbit, there's like a lot of price increases of that. So I'm pretty sure there is. Because like when I went to a recent card show, they're like selling Gandalf the white cards for like $20, $25. I'm like, dude, that's like a $5 to $10 card. Like, what are we doing?
Damn.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good looking cards here. I'm gonna try to go get my pre-release box on Friday. Again, I'm not the most comfortable player right now, but luckily one of our shops is doing an event where you can just go and buy the pre-release box and take it home and like play with friends. It's a card. How much does it
Yeah,
cost?
but it looks like it's just a basic card though. It doesn't look like any crazy artwork or anything like that. But
You could buy me. There's probably maybe even a borderless of it. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, where's an extended artwork? I don't know what that means. But...
Yeah, the extended art. That's about the. It's kind of like a borderless, like extends full. The card, kind of like an epic of Lorcana.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah, there you go. You're hooked already, dude. I tell you.
Legendary artifact. Let's go.
That's an artifact. Okay, that
Horn
makes
of
sense.
Gondor. If you know,
There
you know.
Makes sense. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool. I think one of the bigger chases here that I want to chase is the Golem. It's the Riddle Master. It's a borderless, like a little purple like book cover card. But yeah, there's a lot of fun chases in it. I'm very interested to see. No commander decks for this set, so there is no commander decks. So it's more of like a Spider-Man deck, Spider-Man set where you can just buy the cards and fill out your deck. So I want to make a Doors deck with Bilbo. I really want to, and then I do want to make like a Goblin deck. There's a red Goblin card in here that looks really good. So I'm just making too many freaking decks. I'm in the freaking deep hole with all this shit. So
you gotta zone in. You gotta zone in. You gotta lock in.
Yeah, I gotta zone the fuck.
I finally got in. I got on my TCG bulk order from Lorcana that I did. Like my
did you?
Plus cards. Yeah, I finally got it in. So just gotta put stuff together. You know.
Speaking of that, I'll tell you, I did get the Doctor Doom pre-con deck, so I am fucking locked in.
The what?
The Doctor Doom pre-con. Yeah.
Oh, the one that comes pre-made?
Yeah.
Ooh. I saw
Even though I heard
gameplay.
it's one of the...
I saw a gameplay of no, it wasn't that deck that did good. It was the Black Panther one that looked pretty interesting.
The Black Panther one's the best one from I've heard. Granted, ironically, that's the one I'm missing.
So they have it at the Target by my house.
Ironically enough.
Yeah, that
ironically
one.
Enough, that's the one I.
Yeah.
Yeah, from what I've heard,
why you can't find the Doom one. Who knows?
Yeah, it's literally what it is. That's why all Doom cards are like super expensive right now. But yeah, like ironically enough, the Doom one I think is like the worst playable one from what I've heard, or from what I've seen, or from what I've heard. It's Doom, Fantastic Four, just because there's 4 different commanders in that one, so you have to like really pick to see which one works. I think Invisible Woman, from what I've heard, works the best. Then it's Cap, and then it's the Black Panther one. So that I've heard is like the better looking one. But I did already see. I have like some videos and like of like the Doom one. I do want to play with Doom, where you could like what cards to take out and add in. So maybe that's gonna make the deck a little bit better. But I do want to play with it first and then make my additions and subtractions. So. But yeah, we'll see how that goes moving forward. But yeah, I did get the Doctor Doom precon, so excited for that. But yeah, this one here doesn't have any no precon. So I don't know. Maybe I'll throw some fucking weird shit where I have Doom and then he's casting my precious, some stupid shit like that.
Can only imagine. That's the best of both worlds right there.
There you go, man. There you go. A fucking Doctor Doom, and then I call out a fucking Golem. So, who knows? When I saw him in the first one, I tripped the fuck out. I didn't think they're gonna show him that fast in the movie. I was like, oh fuck, he's in here.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he's getting his own standalone movie too. I don't know if you know that.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think it comes out next year.
I
think.
Oh, I'm gonna be fucking seated for that.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's gonna be good. Is it what Andy Serkis still?
Yep.
Oh, dude, that's gonna be sick.
Yep.
I did not know about that.
I think it's coming out during.
I haven't been.
I want to say. I think they just started filming, if I'm not mistaken.
I might have to check that out again. Yeah. Being completely honest, I've not been locked in the Lord of the Rings Hobbit universe, which is why I'm excited for this to come in. Granted, it's gonna be to watch the first 2. Granted, again, they haven't been really that good. But yeah, I'm like, all right, now I have to do this. Go watch Lord of the Rings again. So yeah, excited for it. But yeah, again, not gonna really dive too much into the Magic, just because again we're still learning the market. We're learning as we go. But hey, if it's something you're interested in, you want to learn with us, again, feel free to tune into the podcast, subscribe, follow, wherever you get your podcast. But yeah, that is gonna be our pod here. We covered Spider-Man, we covered Marvel Sapphire, we got our Galaxy talk, and of course we got a little bit of Magic talk. Nothing really talked about on the Lorcana side. We're still, like you just mentioned, you're still, compiling your deck. So maybe we'll have maybe some alpha, some deck alpha, maybe what decks we're making, what decks we're buying. I'm still making Mrs. Moon a 4-town deck right now as we speak. So gonna go hopefully find some singles. Go find some singles over the weekend and compile that deck here for her, because I do already have some cards ready for her. But yeah, before I wrap everything up officially here, Bropio, any final thoughts here for the good old listeners of collecting beyond the 1, 2, 3?
No, man, I don't got much. If you have any Throg cards, send them my way. Hit me up. I'm collecting Throg. Uh, if you don't know who Throg is, Google him and you'll
A
find
Throg
out.
rainbow, ladies and gentlemen, it's coming.
Shout him out. But yeah, other than that, I don't got much. Yeah, I'm at a loss for words right now. My Throg collection.
A Throg collection. You're only gonna get that here on Collecting Beyond the 1, 2, 3. You're only gonna get that. Who else is collecting freaking Throg?
It's gotta be somebody out there.
But yeah, don't have much here on my end. Again, I thank you guys for all the support. Last episode did really, really well. So again, if you're tuning in for the first time, if you're coming in from Collecting the 1, 2, 3, or you're just tuning into Beyond the 1, 2, 3, I really do appreciate our support. Like we mentioned here, we're growing our pop culture side. If it's buying, selling, collecting, and I'm enjoying a lot of it. It's a lot of fun, to seeing these fictional characters and cardboard. It's a lot of fun. It's like obviously like comic books, so it's very fun. We've been enjoying it. My wife's been enjoying it. So yeah, it's been a fun time just collecting, buying, and interacting with you guys about these cards. So it's been a lot of fun. So we're enjoying it here. Again, make sure you are following and subscribe because I think we finally figured out like a pretty good filming schedule and recording schedule, so hopefully we can kind of keep it through, be more consistent moving forward. But yeah, again, that's why I just highly advocate that you guys follow us so we do our updates on the podcast for when we're recording, when episodes coming out. Hopefully you're listening to this episode on Friday, which is ironically again Spider-Man IMAX. So go see Spider-Man in IMAX, and again, let us know how you feel about the movie. But yeah, that's gonna be it on my end. Again, thank you guys for listening and watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow wherever you're tuning in, and we will see y'all on the next one. Peace, 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 peace.